Anthropic just made a 1 million context window generally available for Claude Code. So if you log into Claude Code now, you should see a message like this, which says, Opus now defaults to 1 million context, 5 times more room, same pricing. In this video, I'm going to walk you through practically what this means for you and take you through a practical exercise where I try to push the limits of this 1 million context window and see how Claude Code does. So if you're a lucky member of certain enterprises, you already had access to this, but now us normal people with our regular Claude Code subscriptions finally get to use this 1 million context window. And the amazing thing about it is that it's the same price after you go past that previous 200,000 token limit. Now, one thing we've seen with prior models like Sonnet 4.5, or even with GPT 5.4 and Gemini, is that once you get past that token limit, performance really degrades. And what Anthropic is saying here is that, yes, it still degrades, but it doesn't degrade at that bad of a rate relative to these other models. Now, here are some things that some of the enterprise customers who had early access to the 1 million context window are saying about how revolutionary it is. And I want to highlight a few that I think are going to be particularly relevant to the bulk of you. So first here, Anton Biryukov, a software engineer at Ramp, is saying that Claude Code can burn 100,000 tokens searching Datadog, Brain Trust, databases, and source code. So oftentimes, whatever we're doing with Claude Code or Codex depends on external sources, such as those which may tell us about the kinds of errors our application are having, or if we want to put lots of PDFs or other kinds of information into context, that's going to eat up this context window really quickly. And what Anton is saying here is that this entire search process now can happen in one window, rather than you having to figure out how to manage the context window most effectively. Next, I thought this was cool from an ML engineer at Eve, which seems to be some kind of legal tech startup. And he says whether it's cross-referencing a 400-page deposition transcript or surfacing key connections across an entire case file, the expanded context window lets us deliver materially higher quality answers than before. And now, one final example, which is going to be important for the academics, the scientists, is here from Dr. Alex Wisner-Gross, the co-founder of, I guess, some kind of scientific startup. Scientific discovery requires reasoning across research literature, mathematical frameworks, so it has to think, databases, and simulation code simultaneously. So I really think that Opus 4.6, even though I've kind of gone with Codex and have been pushing Codex recently, I'm going to have to take a look at Claude Code again, especially for scientific and bigger context work, because it might really help me out. Now, it is worth saying that Codex with GPT 5.4 also has a 1 million context window. So GPT 5.4 in Codex has experimental support, but you have to configure it manually. And once you go over the standard 272K context window, that counts against your usage limit at 2 times the normal rate. So if you're using fast mode, which I like to use, then that's going to count against you at 4 times the normal rate. Additionally, looking at this long context retrieval graph, it seems like GPT 5.4's performance is not at the same quality as the context window decreases as Opus and Sonnet 4.6's performance. All right, so next I want to do a practical exercise testing out this new 1 million context window in Claude Code. And I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. This is Daron Acemoglu, a Nobel Prize-winning economist at MIT. He's the most cited economist in the world. And incidentally, he's to some extent known to be a somewhat AI skeptic. I don't know if I would name him that exactly, but he's a lot more cautious and considered about the implications of AI, to the point of wanting to put the brakes on and have governments come in and perhaps slow it down relative to the rest of the economics profession. But what I want to see is if we go to Daron Acemoglu's website and then download a bunch of his papers, how many of these is Claude Code going to be able to understand and process and give us an idea of his work simultaneously? So my goal is to see how far we can push this. I'm not going to be the best judge of the output because I'm not the greatest economist in the world. All right, so let's give it a shot. I want you to download at least 15 of, and then I gotta type his name for sure, latest publications. And then I want you to provide an overarching. Actually, I want you to pick the ones that are going to be most interesting to me as someone interested in the economics of AI. And the goal is to have you produce an integrated analysis of his research on the economics of AI. So actually find the ones which are most relevant. I want you to analyze at least like 7 papers, but as many as you think you'll be able to fit into your 1 million context window and still provide a good final output to me. And so what I want is a LaTeX file, which you compile to a PDF, and then I can read that PDF. All right, let's see how this exercise goes. All right, so it seems to have grabbed a bunch of papers that it thinks is AI relevant, and now it's going to start reading them. So I'm going to pause it just for a second, just because I want to see where we are with. Is this the right one? No. Yeah, it is. They just changed it up a little bit. No. Okay. So let's take a look here. So we've got this 1 million holy shit context window. And so far we've used up 97.5K tokens. And we have all of this space remaining. Wow. I'm excited. Okay. Keep going, bromigo. All right. I'm going to pause it again just to check in again on where we're at. I've read 8 full papers. I've read 12 papers thoroughly. And how much context does that take? The context visualization seems to be bugging out a bit. Don't know if I trust that. It says 156K is used, but then it says free space 947K. So we might expect some bugs. Let's keep going. All right. So it finished. It read 15 papers thoroughly. And then it wrote up a report, but I asked it, did you read all the papers? And it says here, interestingly, that the PDF reader has a 20-page per request limit. So it read them in chunks, and it's telling me how much of each paper it read. And so you can see here that by default, it chose to not read some of these papers all the way through, which have a greater number of total pages. So 11 pages read at 70% coverage, and then it only got parts of other papers. The analysis is primarily grounded in the 11 papers I read thoroughly. So what I'm going to tell it now is I want you to read even more papers outside the ones that you just got. So let's get even more from Daron Acemoglu's website, which might inform this analysis even more deeply. Like, let's double the amount of papers we're reading. And then I want you to also get, I want you to make sure you're reading all these papers completely. So let's see how that goes. Hopefully it knows who I'm talking about. It's not a horribly disgusting misspelling. Let's see how it goes. All right, we're making progress. Look at all these citations. Holy shit. It's like 20 papers. What is going on here? Holy macaroni. I think we're definitely using that context now. Got 27 papers. Read substantial content from 27 papers. Wow. All right. So it says here that it's now a 19-page, 27-paper analysis, nearly double the original scope. So it incorporated a bunch of new papers, included Daron Acemoglu's Nobel Prize lecture. Let's just see how much context we now have left. So I'm actually kind of confused by what's going on here. So we've crossed the 200,000 barrier, but just barely. So I'm actually going to just ask it, what is going on here? I would have thought you would have used a lot more context. Are you auto-compacting or not really reading the PDFs or what exactly? So it looks like while I was doing this exercise, it was automatically auto-compacting. So if you're trying to use this 1 million context window, it may not do it properly fully. That's interesting. Let's do something else. I want you to use some methods to extract the text from each of these papers. So we should have just like a text version of the paper. Then I'm going to ask you to rewrite this summary using the text versions of the papers. So maybe you could spin up a sub agent per paper to create a text version using like PDF, grep, or some other PDF utilities that you might think are useful. So what I'm going to try to force it to do is actually push this 1 million context. The way I'm going to do that is by first extracting everything out of the PDFs into a text file. We're going to see if it's able to do that. And then once it does that, we will have the text of all 27 of these papers. And then we'll have a new summary or analysis that runs not using the PDFs directly, which seems to create some kind of auto-compaction process, but instead use the text in the PDFs. All right, so my hypothesis was correct. It's extracted 30 of the papers to plain text. This is 600,000 words, which is going to be an estimated 800K tokens. We have about 200K tokens already used up, so we want to be strategic to not hit that compaction limit. So I think what I'll ask it is to be strategic so that we stay within the 1 million context window, but then also have space left for the token usage, which will be needed to write out our edited analysis. I want you to be strategic about use of which papers you read, their text versions now, but then rewrite the final analysis. So you should do it so that everything fits into the context window, maybe aim to spend another 400,000 tokens or so, and then write out the analysis. So part of what I'm seeing is that there seem to be limits, perhaps, even when you have this 1 million context window on the amount that Claude Code can read at a time. So you really have to kind of coerce it or finagle it to read papers properly. And what this is kind of suggesting to me is that something which is going to be useful to do is to create a skill that Claude Code can invoke when reading papers to be able to do so in the most efficient way possible. So this is good. It now seems to have been able to get an entire paper into context, and now it's going on to other critical papers. Can you get all of them? Okay, so Claude Code now claims it has extensive content from 15 papers loaded into context, plus substantial earlier readings of the other papers. The LaTeX file, let me recompile it and verify it's clean. So this is a pretty interesting learning, and it's going to be important for a lot of you who are doing work, whether in industry or in academia, which requires the agentic coding tool to read a large amount of text. It seems that at least Claude Code here's initial inclinations, given the inbuilt limitations that have been put on it, is to be sort of restrained in how much it's reading at a time. Now, when you're working with code, that's not going to be a big issue, because when you're working with code, you're usually, like, each individual file is not going to be as big as any of these papers we're trying to read. And so the 1 million context window will be quite good for working with really big code bases. But if you're working with big PDF documents, then it seems that some sort of pre-processing is still the best approach, and perhaps making a PDF skill that you invoke would be the best way to work with it. All right, so this is interesting. We've now pushed past, to 462,000 tokens, so we're using that. And then if you look here, it still says free space 947K for some reason, so I don't know what's going on there. Here I'm getting a warning saying, read results using only the sections you need, don't read entire files, so it's telling me not to do the override that I tried to do. And then it's saying here that your existing analysis is already fine. I'm not going to read another one. So it doesn't seem to want to rewrite it. So I'm going to ask it. But shouldn't you rewrite it? Like, didn't you learn anything from what you just read? Okay, so I had to kind of compel it to rewrite it. And it seems to now be doing so. Let's see how the resultant results look. Maybe I can open the existing. Here's the existing analysis. So, I mean, it looks Looks pretty fascinating. Wow, it even got some mathematics compiled in there. It's not the best exercise for me to do because I'm not an expert on this aspect of Acemoglu's work. And so it's hard for me to evaluate the quality of what he's putting it together. I'd probably want to do this again with a different set of LaTeX files with a different set of PDFs. So like a part of economics that I know really reasonably well is American economic history and the economic history of the media. So I did a lot of PhD work on that. And so that would be more interesting for me to use as a test to see like what is the quality of what's being produced. But I wouldn't use this thing that we have here alone anyway. I would kind of use it as a place where I get started and then I do my own digging into these papers for this literature review type task to which I'm putting Claude Code to push the limits of what it can do with this 1 million token context. All right, it looks like it finished, but what it did instead is instead of making something longer, it says it's now 23% shorter, but significantly more precise. So let's go take a look and see if it seems more precise to us. So again, I guess like my advice initially here, here's a V2, I think. Yeah. So I mean, you can put them both here side by side. And this one starts out, you can just kind of see it like looks a lot more general, like the whatever LaTeX compilation they chose here. Like this thing's it's making references to a prior model, seems to be sort of integrating knowledge across many different papers to a greater degree with more specific facts. I guess they're both starting off with some comparison of TFP growth, but then this one is using that to make some point about some SBTC model. I don't know what that is. Well, then we keep going into it. And yeah, interesting. I actually want to read some of this stuff. Like, I don't know Acemoglu's recent work really well, and I'd like to understand it better. Well, that was pretty cool. My takeaway here is that there's definitely potential with this 1 million context window, but with whatever application to which you're putting it, you have to be careful about studying how Claude Code is actually making use of that context window. And so what I'm going to do is put both of these PDFs that I've produced here on my website, AI MBA, where I have all sorts of tutorials about Claude Code. If you're interested in economics, you may be interested in this talk I gave with an accompanying slide deck on AI agents for economics research. And also, if you want to join over 1,400 AI devs, academics, all sorts of people trying to get to the cutting edge of agentic coding, then definitely join my school server, which will be linked in the description below. And I'd love to be able to help you out, and you get to join a community of other people trying to get to the cutting edge of these tools. So give Claude Code with a 1 million context window a shot. See how it goes for you. Peace.